Welcome to Fantastic Fiber Friday. I've got a bunch of fiber sitting in front of me, and I think I'll go ahead and just jump right into why I have a bunch of little bats of fiber sitting in front of me. And that is because, as you know, I've been talking about how things die up and what can happen and the different things that can happen to make your colorways a little bit off. And I've run into this recently with a customer, and I fixed the problem, but in the meantime I actually developed some really cool colors. So here we go. Winter Fog. Now, I showed you this before, and this is my spun Winter Fog, and this one is actually the correct fiber for Winter Fog, the correct colorway. And I had a contest earlier this week. I will name the contest winner in a few minutes, but this is what I came up with instead of the correct colorway, which is quite close but not quite Winter Fog, and it's actually much pinker and much lighter. I also inadvertently, I thought, well, maybe I'll add a little bit of gray to the pink. And here's what happened when I added gray to pink. This is the correct colorway. This is a new colorway. See how different that looks? The other two colors stayed exactly the same. The turquoise and the aqua green. And I came up with this lovely purplish, tealish, just beautiful colorway. So I think I might actually make this a permanent colorway. But this is what can happen when your dyes are a little bit off, your water composition changes or whatnot. Kind of interesting how that works. So, on to our contest winner, and we decided to go ahead and name the colorway Dragonfly Wings. I had a ton of great names given. I wrote them all down here and kind of went through them and looking at the fiber. And I actually had some help from the family because there were so many great names that you guys commented on the video. That was awesome. So, and if I butcher your Ravelry name, I'm sorry, but Loose Squared was the person who, how do I say this? Was the person who I'm losing my train of thought here. Lovely. Okay. Dragonfly Wings was Loose Squared
winner.
Was her entry. Thank you. Entry. That's the word I was looking for. And I will be contacting her shortly on Ravelry so I can send her an ounce of this fiber. So congratulations, Loose Squared. Now, I'm actually thinking about having another contest to name this colorway. Although people came up with some great names, and I actually really like quite a few of them. Like Borealis, Winter Fog, Uncertain Sky, which was awesome. And I especially liked Angry Blizzard and Winter Storm. I have to think up colorways for those two. You guys are awesome. So with that being said, I'm going to move on out of the fiber here and onto my knitting. And as you saw on Monday and Wednesday's post, I was being rather indecisive about what I wanted to knit next, and I couldn't figure out what to knit next, and all that fiber and yarn I showed you earlier this week I literally took to my knitting group because I did not know what to do. And I ended up pulling out a project that I had started a while ago. It's a poncho, and it's got 4 colors of yarn in it. Let me see if I can get it turned around without falling too much off my needles here. I should have put some needle enders on there. But this is my poncho, and I'm using just some Lion Brand that I had around and some Bernat. White all the way through and 3 colors. 1, 2, and where's it? Black. 3. So I kind of put these 3 colors together along with the white, and I don't have a pattern for it or anything. I'm just going with the flow and making myself a nice thick heavy poncho. And I decided December or maybe January would be a good time to do all my UFOs, my unfinished objects. And then I found out there's actually a Ravelry group dedicated to this. I need to look them up. I haven't looked them up yet, but I guess they called in December you're supposed to finish it or frog it. And I thought that was kind of cool, because I'm the type of person that unfinished objects kind of needle at me and bother me, because I don't like loose ends. I like everything to be neat and tidy. So I figured now would be a good time to do my unfinished objects, and it felt right. So I grabbed this out of the bag Tuesday night at my group and started knitting on it, and I've been working on it ever since. I think I might go until I run out of white, because I only have 2 more skeins of white and it'll be long as I want. So that's my knitting for this week. And boy, that thing's heavy. I also wanted to talk to you about different silk types today. Are these out of the way enough? Okay. Because I use a variety of silk, and mainly I use recycled silk in my projects, but there is an amazing variety of silk types out there that you can use for different things. I'll start out with the recycled stuff first. I use recycled silk thrums in bats. And these are basically very fine threads of silk that I literally cut up and card into the bats. I also use recycled pulled silk that comes in many colors, and I over dye them a single color, but it's enough to let the other colors come out, and I also put this right into the bats. Now, some other silk types that I found along the way that I just absolutely enjoy are hankies. And these are some silk hankies that I dyed up. And these are quite lovely to spin. You just tear them out from the middle and then draft them how you want them and spin them up. And I also have silk bells. And bells are really interesting because of the pardon me for a minute, and pardon my husband's pager. He's my cameraman today, and he's got his pager on, and these are the things that you deal with when your husband's a firefighter and an EMT, but he's not on call for EMT today, or he'd be racing out the door.
Here, it's on vibrate.
Okay, he put it on vibrate for me. Well, no, it's not exactly. There we go. This is a silk bell, where they have basically gone and taken... He's got to hear what's going on, too.
Ooh.
And by the look on his face, it's not good.
Got hit by a car in Derby.
Oh, that's horrible.
You should have ran a little bit quicker.
Oh, that's not even funny. Somebody got hit by a car, should have ran quicker. Anyway, back to the silk bells. Basically, they have taken the cocoons and stretched them over a bell shape, whereas with the hankies, they stretch them over a square shape, almost like a picture frame. And each one of these, let's see if I can pull one off here, because they're really thin. This is one cocoon. And it's kind of the same thing with the silk bells. If I can pull just one of them off there, which is easier said than done. Actually, I think I have 2 here. Yeah, I have 2. Or 3. I'll pull one from the inside, maybe. But they're very, very thin. So I've got 3 there, and that's 3 thick, and then you can still see through it. So just some more fun ways that you can spin up silk. I also have some carded Tussa silk noil, which looks amazingly like the pulled silk almost. Still very nice, very soft. I like it. And of course your grade A mulberry roving silk, which is the really high-end stuff. That honestly, I've tried to stick this in the drum carder to card it with other items, and it kind of nips up a little bit when you do that because it is so soft. And those are your different types of silk. Or at least the ones I've been able to get my grabby little fingers on. So, let's see, we've gone over knitting, we've gone over silk types, we've gone over fiber, and the new colorway. Do you think we should have a contest for this?
Might as well.
And name the colorway contest? Okay. Anybody who comments on this post by Thursday of next week will get a treat. I'm not going to tell you what it is this time. Not for anybody who comments. I should change that. The train of thought is out there a little bit today.
The winner.
Yeah, the winner of the contest will receive a treat from me, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to send it out.
Run over by a car.
That's not a treat. That is not a treat. So, comment on this post. Name the beautiful purplish, tealish, gorgeous spinning goodness here that is going to become one of our basic blends. And I will send you a treat, whoever the winner is. And I think that's all we have for today. You probably heard enough of my indecisiveness and losing my train of thought. And I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Just a quick note. One of these days, I will show you what's going on behind the camera and why I lose my train of thought so much when my husband's filming. He's a funny guy. I promise. Kind of like a behind the scenes. It'll be fun.